Hi everyone, my name's Fern and welcome to my first ever online yoga session. I thought that since we're all in quarantine, self-isolation during this crazy corona time, that it was time that I made a yoga video online so everyone can practice it at their homes by themselves and just have an opportunity to get the body moving and get yourselves out of your head. You know, we really want to just bring ourselves into complete presence during this time in which we have to let go of what we can't control. So if you'd like to start off by joining me in a cross-legged comfortable seat, you might want to sit up on a block or a rug or a blanket or something, but if not, just sit directly on the floor. Sit up nice and tall, so elongating the spine, relaxing the shoulders, and then just either closing the eyes or lowering the gaze. So we're just going to take a few moments here with some gentle breathing, bringing complete awareness to the breath. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Bringing a nice natural rhythm into the breath. Noticing that with every inhale, your stomach is rising. And with every exhale, it's falling, and you're just allowing the air to completely leave your body. So inhaling a sense of ease and relaxation, and exhaling any tension that we might be holding. So really just sit with yourself here, come into total presence. Any thoughts which arise, acknowledge them, then accept them, and then let them go and come back to the breath. And then opening the eyes, inhaling the arms up, look all the way up. Exhale, palms through center. And again, inhale the arms up. And exhale down. Final one, inhaling all the way up. Exhale, palms down through center. And then this time, inhale the arms up, look up, and then bring the left hand behind the body and bring the right hand down to the left knee. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, take a twist. Just holding here in the twist. And on the next inhale, easing off and coming back to center. And again, lifting up through the arms. And then dropping the right hand behind the body. Left hand comes to the left knee. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, look back towards the back. Inhaling back to center. Gently coming off your seat and coming on to all fours. So I'm going to come into a tabletop position to start off with, in which we're going to warm up the spine and just get the body ready for the practice. So bringing your shoulders over your wrists, your knees underneath your hips. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, curl, tuck under, look to your belly button. A few more times like that. So inhaling, arching, looking up. Exhale, curl, look under. So keep on doing that with your inhale, arching and looking up, and with your exhale, curling and tucking under. So using the breath already at the beginning to really set the practice. A few more times like that. And once more. Then we're going to come to stillness and into a neutral spine, and then reaching out the right leg, lifting up the foot, keeping the hips square, and then bringing the left arm out, so you've got one long straight line. So here we're focusing on balance, we're zipping up through the core. You're using your breath just to steady yourself, so holding it here for 5 breaths. Okay, and then lowering the hand, bringing the foot down, bringing the knee down, resetting, checking in, and then bringing the left leg out, bringing the foot up, flexing the foot, trying and keeping those hips nice and square, and then bringing the right arm out. So finding that balance, doesn't matter if you wobble, zip up through the core, find your focus and use your breath. And then lowering them both down. And then slowly tucking the toes under. And we're going to begin to lift the hips and lengthen the legs. So we're coming into our first downward dog of the day. You're going to have your fingers spread, grip through the palms as well as the fingertips. And from here, you're just going to begin to pedal your feet. So easing the hamstrings into the practice, one at a time. So bending one foot, lengthening the other, changing sides. And always remembering to breathe. So once we've done that a few times, you're going to try and come to stillness, get those heels down as much as you can, but it doesn't matter if you can't get them all the way down. And then you're going to walk your hands to your feet. From here, you're going to have your feet about hip distance apart. Relax the head down, have a soft bend in the knees, and allow the body just to dangle. You might want to just either have your hands on the ground here or take hold of your elbows. And then just allow the body to surrender. So noticing whether you've got any holding in the neck, nodding your head yes, shaking your head no, and allowing it to completely relax. Okay, and then from here we're just going to drop the hands down and slowly and mindfully uncurl up. Your head is the last thing to come up. Okay, from here you're going to bring the feet together, come into the middle, bring the arms up, look all the way up, and then taking hold of your left wrist with your right hand, inhale, lengthen, exhale, reach it over to the right. So really now breathing into the side rib cage, allowing for some opening, just holding here. On the next inhale, coming back to center, exhale, release, take hold of the other wrist, inhale, lengthen, exhale, draw it over to the other side. Holding it here, opening the side body, And on the next inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, release them down. Keeping the feet together where they are and coming into our mountain pose, our Tadasana. So just having a neutral spine here and a neutral tailbone. Relaxing the hands by your sides, relax your shoulders, notice that they're not up by your ears. Just allow the body to drop. We'll take a few breaths here. So you can close your eyes while you're in your mountain pose, you can have them open. Just notice here, feeling your connection to the earth, your groundedness, so the 4 points of your feet on the mat. And again, just bringing your awareness to the breath. Okay, and then either opening the eyes, or if they're already open, either inhaling, lifting up the arms, look up, exhale, lower it all the way down. From here, we're going to walk the hands back out, but this time into a plank. Separate the feet from here. We're going to take our first vinyasa, so lowering the knees, lowering the chest and the chin. Inhale up through a cobra, look up, keep the elbows away, keep the elbows tucked into the body and the shoulders away from the ears, and probably with a bend in your elbows. You don't want to be all the way up, don't want to have too much pressure on the back. Tuck the toes under and push back into your downward dog. From here, we're going to do 3 flows. So just walking up the spine and bringing a little strengthening into the practice. So you're going to come up onto your toes all the way. And then from here in one motion, so just using your spine, you're going to get yourself into a plank position. And then once you're here, you're going to squeeze the body back so that your knees are hovering just back off the mat. And your body is resting on your thighs. And then from here, we're going to ease the heels down again. And come up onto the toes once more. Transition your weight forwards into that plank position. And then squeeze the body back. So hold it here, grip the hands, hover the knees, ease the heels down. Using the breath, and again inhaling up onto the toes. Exhale down into your plank and then squeeze the body back. Holding here, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring the heels down, and then from here we're going to bring the knees down out wide, feet together, and push yourself back into a child's pose. So you're bringing your forehead onto the mat, reaching your arms out forward, and you're just going to have a few breaths here. So for anyone who's new to the practice, you can always come down into your child's pose. If there's a posture you're not enjoying, if something doesn't feel right, come into your child's pose or go into a downward dog. Whatever, we're all different in our abilities, so just take a moment and be in your child's pose. So from here, reaching the hands forwards, we're going to tuck the toes under and lift the hips again into your downward dog. And then from here, you're just going to walk your feet to your hands at the front of the mat. Bring the feet together and bend the knees, inhale the arms up. And then from here, exhale, hands through center. So from here, we're going to do our first sun salutation. So Surya Namaskar A. So bringing the feet together, inhale the arms up. Exhale, lower it down. Bring the hands down. If you need a bend in your knees to do that, give them the bend. Lengthen up, bring your hands to your shins. Look to the horizon with a flat back. Bring both hands down, step the right foot back, lower the knee, lower the foot. Inhale the arms up, come into your crescent lunge. Bring both hands down, step both feet back to a plank. From here, lower it down, knees, chest and chin. So you keep your bottom sticking up, elbows into the body, shoulders away from ears, coming in to your cobra. Gentle back bend here. Tuck the toes under, push back to your downward dog. From here, stepping your right foot between your hands, lowering the back knee down, inhaling the arms up. So while we're in our crescent lunge, just notice that your ankle is underneath your knee. So it's like a right angle here. So if you've done your transition and your foot's stuck back here, just move it forward slightly. Then bring both hands down, step both feet together. Once again, bring the hands to the shins, look up, relax it down, and inhale all the way up. Exhale, palms through center, and we're going to do it again. Inhale up. Exhale, fold it down. Lift to a flat back. Look to the horizon, bring both hands down, step the left foot back. Inhale the arms up. Exhale them down, step back to your plank. From here, lower it down, knees, chest and chin. Inhale up through cobra, and push back through downward dog. Taking a moment here, and then stepping the left foot between the hands, grounding through the bottom foot. Inhaling up, lower it down, step both feet to the front, relax it down, and inhale up. Exhale, palms through center. This time, coming into Surya Namaskar B. So you're going to sit the hips back, bending the knees, reaching the arms forward. We're coming into Utkatasana, our chair pose. So reaching the hands forwards and bringing them into prayer. So looking to your hands, now holding it here. So this is where we start to feel a bit of a burn. So lower the hips, sit down, reach the hands forwards. Holding here, 5, 4, 3, 2, lower the hands down, lift into your flat back, and then either step or jump the feet back to your plank. Then from here, your option is either lowering it down like we've been doing knees, chest, chin, or we're going to lower down chaturanga, so bringing ourselves into a lowering down like a push-up position. So keeping the elbows in, lower it down, hold it there for a second, and then come up into an upward dog or a cobra. So if you're in an upward dog, again, shoulders away from ears, chest coming through, and then tuck the toes under and push back to your downward dog. So we're holding here for 5 breaths. So nice deep breathing. And then stepping the right foot between the hands, grounding through the back foot, so it's at a 45-degree angle, and you've got that 90-degree angle as you come up in the front bend of the knee. Bringing the arms up and holding it here in our warrior one pose. Now once you're here, you're going to take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, open the arms into a warrior two. So looking to your front hand, your drishti is your index finger on the front hand. And holding it here. So strong in the arms, but again, relaxing the shoulders. From here, you're going to windmill the hands down to the outside of the front foot. Step back to your plank. And again, either lowering it down, knees, chest, chin, or a chaturanga. Inhaling upward dog or cobra and pushing back, downward dog. So in yoga, what we do on one side must be done on the other side. So you're going to step the left foot through the hands, ground through the back foot, inhale the arms up. Take a few breaths here, center. And then taking a deep inhale and exhale, opening to your warrior two. Looking again to your front hand, keeping that bend in the front knee, relaxing the shoulders. windmilling the hands down, stepping back to your plank, lowering it down, pushing it up, and coming back through your downward dog. 5 breaths here. And then the option here is either to step or jump the feet to the hands. So if you're jumping, just want to come up to the toes, bend the knees, and on the exhale, jump forwards. Bring your hands to your shins, looking up, and then again, bending the knees. First of all, bringing the body onto the thighs, reaching up the arms, coming into your chair pose, your Utkatasana, holding it here. And then bring the hands together, inhaling and exhaling. Hands down, lengthen the legs, and take a few breaths here in your mountain pose. Okay, and then coming from your mountain pose, you're going to transition back into your Utkatasana, your chair pose, reaching forward, sitting down, and then lowering down, lengthening the legs again, inhaling, lifting to a flat back, and then from here, stepping or jumping the feet back into your plank, lowering it down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, up through cobra, upward dog, push back through downward dog. From here, we're going to step the right foot between the hands, ground through the left foot, come up just briefly through your warrior one. And then from here, we're going to transition into our first balance pose. So bring the hands down through center, focusing on a point ahead of you. And now coming up onto the toes of the back foot, energy out through the back heel, and then beginning to float the back leg up until we come into our warrior three. Now from here, using your breath to steady the pose, you're going to begin to extend the arms out in front of you. If you don't have space for this, maybe keep them by the sides, or here, or out by the sides here. Just depends on the size of the room that you're in. And then holding here, keeping it in, again zipping up through the core, and just breathing. And then you're going to step that foot back into your warrior one, and then from here, bringing the hands behind the back, clasping the hands together, drawing the shoulder blades closer together, and then taking a deep inhale, lengthening up, and then exhale, draw the head down to the foot and allow the shoulders to fall over the head. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it back up. Gently release the hands, and then once more we're going to bring our hands just briefly through warrior two, and then drop the right hand next to the right foot and bring the left arm over and point towards the front of the room. Now if you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can bring the right arm underneath the right leg and bring the left arm over and take a bind. So you've got the hands holding. And keep that bend in the knee. And then gently release and come back up. From here, windmilling the hands back down, stepping back to your plank, choosing your transition either through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, coming up through upward dog or cobra and pushing back through downward dog. This time, stepping the left foot between the hands, grounding through the back foot. Again, coming briefly through your warrior one. Bring the hands down through center, tucking the toes under on the back foot, and beginning to float the back leg up, transitioning into your warrior three. Again, focusing here, breathing into it, perhaps bringing the arms in front or by the sides. Just holding here. And then when you're ready, bring that back foot back down. Bring the hands together, taking an inhale, drawing those shoulder blades closer together, reaching behind, and then dropping the head down towards the foot and allowing those shoulders to fall over the head. So it's a really good shoulder opener. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and perhaps now coming back up, gently releasing, and then bringing the left hand down inside of the left foot, right arm comes over, and then again here, the option is to take the bind. So you're going to align the left knee with the left shoulder, and then drop the left arm underneath, right arm comes over, and we take a bind. So just holding here. And releasing, coming back up through your warrior two, and then windmilling the hands down. And once we're here, we're going to step back to our plank. We're going to have a little side plank because it's just good for everyone really. Bring the right hand into the center of the mat. Now you're either going to stack your feet, one on top of the other, or bring one foot in front of the other, or perhaps, if it's too much, maybe bending. If your wrists are hurting, come into a forearm. So, coming up, looking up to the top hand, lifting the hips, holding here, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring that left hand back down, trying to hold it here, still in that nice plank. Take your vinyasas, so lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Coming through upward dog or cobra, and then push back your downward dog. And then again, we're going to come up onto the tiptoes, shift the weight to the plank, and then bring the left hand into the center of the mat. Do it on the other side. Left hand into the center of the mat, stacking the feet, or one in front of the other. Bring that right arm up, lift the hips, and hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, lower both hands, take the transition, come up through upward dog or cobra, and push back in downward dog. And we're going to hold here for 5 breaths. So holding here, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now stepping or jumping the feet to the hands, but this time to the outsides of the hands. And then from here we're going to sit in our yogi squat. So if you guys will stay on your mat like this, I'm just going to stand like this to show. So sitting here, aligning the knees with the shoulders, bring the hands into prayer, bring the elbows together, bring the thumbs to the third eye, or just between the middle of the eyebrows, and then inhaling, coming to standing, taking a gentle back bend, and exhale, come back to your seat. And again, so staying in that squat, keeping elbows together, thumbs together, on third eye, inhale up, gentle back bend, exhale to a seat. Final one, inhaling, standing, gentle back bend, exhale to a seat. We're going to bring the hands down, step into our downward dog. And from here, another 5 breaths. So if you're new to yoga, perhaps maybe during this downward dog, you're going to come into your child's pose. Just take a moment to rest. It can be a lot on the wrists as well if you're really not used to doing this kind of exercise. So maybe during these moments where you're taking rest, begin to just spiral the wrists a little bit, and that will help with any tension that you might be feeling. The more you practice, that pain will become less. And then from here, we're going to come back to our downward dog. And then we're going to step or jump the feet to the hands, your choice. Lengthen, look up to a flat back. Relax it down. And again, just uncurl up. Okay, so stepping to the front of your mat, bring the feet together. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold it down. Lift to a flat back. And then this time, you're going to step your left foot back. Ground it. And then here, we're going to straighten the front leg. So in our warriors, we've had a bent knee. This time, our leg is straight. So we're going to come up. And we're coming through Trikonasana, triangle pose. So our arms are extended. We're looking to our front hand. Then we're going to inhale and then reach behind you as if you're trying to grab something. And then exhale, hinging from the hips, lower it down and either take hold of your big toe, your hand by your foot or by the shin. And then from here, we're just going to look to our top hand. So have a nice long straight line again. Holding it here. Then inhale, come to standing. Keep the arms where they are and then changing the feet. So now your left foot is facing the other wall and your right foot is how your left foot was. And then inhaling, reaching behind you as if you were trying to grab something. Exhale, hinge from the hips and lower it down. Trikonasana on the other side, holding it here. Few more breaths. And come to standing. And then we're going to parallel the feet. And we're just going to do one more shoulder opening exercise. So bring the hands behind you again. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades closer together. They're clasped like they were in our humble warrior. And then gently lower down, hinging from the hips again. And this time, allowing the shoulders to fall down. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and inhaling, using the core to lift up. Release the hands and step or jump the feet together. And then stepping to the front of your mat again. We're going to bring our arms out in front of us, come up onto the tiptoes, and then slowly lower it down until we come to a seat. And then from here, we're going to bring the feet out. We're going to come into our Dandasana, our staff pose. So bring the hands by your side, relax the shoulders down, have your feet flexed. And from here, we're just going to hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then from here, inhale, lift up all the way, and then exhale, lengthen over the legs. So either here, perhaps you'll take hold of the toes, around the feet, or if you can't reach, it doesn't matter. There's this big thing about being able to touch your toes. Who cares? The more you practice, slowly, the further you'll get. If you can't touch your toes and you want to try, I recommend having, you can do it with a belt, you can really do it with anything. I've got a random bag here, but you might just want to try bringing it around the feet and then taking hold of where you can. So if you take hold of it, and then maybe slowly you'll walk the hands a little bit further forward each time. So it's just an idea. So lowering down, inhale up again, lengthen, look up, and then exhale, bring your elbows up and lower down. So remembering to breathe while you're here. Some of us, it's not the most comfortable position, but it has a lot of benefits. So just try and stay with it. And then gently coming up. You're going to bring the right foot even into the left leg. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold it over. A few more breaths here. And inhale, coming up. Changing sides. Bring the left foot into the right thigh. Inhale up and exhale over it. You'll find often that one side is a little more open than the other side. It might feel different, and that's just normal. We're not always completely balanced on each side, and that's nothing to be concerned about. Again, if you need to have the belt, hold it here and really try and just have your back flat. So your focus, you're looking at your big toe. And then gently easing off. Now we're going to bring the feet out wide, and now your option here is we're going into a reverse plank or a reverse tabletop. So a reverse plank is our hands behind us, facing towards us, and our legs are straight and we're lifting up. So we lift the hips and you reach the toes down, and here you can relax your neck. Okay, so we're just going to hold there for 5 counts. Otherwise, you're going to come into a reverse tabletop, lifting the hips, and again, dropping the neck. So your choice, choose whichever modification suits you. So inhaling, lifting the hips and holding here for 5, 4, 3, lift those hips, 2, stay with it, and 1. Lower it down, and then from here we're going to come into our bridge. So bring the feet flat, lowering onto the back. Bring our hands by our sides. So you want your feet basically just where you can feel your heels with your fingertips. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower it down. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then this time, we're going to lift and hold. So inhale, lifting. And then bring the hands underneath the body, clasping them together, lengthening them out so that they're on the mat, and lift those hips up. Holding here for 5 breaths. So if you begin to feel your hips dipping, just try and mindfully stay with it and lift them back up. So squeezing the glutes and lifting. Final breath. Make it count, lift the hips up. And releasing the hands and slowly and mindfully lowering the back onto the mat. Drawing the knees into the chest, gently rocking from side to side. And then from here, you're going to lower them down again. And now your option here, whether or not you've done yoga before, whether you did this as a child, it's really up to you, is to come either back into a bridge, like you've just done, like so, or we're going to come into a full wheel pose. So you're going to bring the hands by your shoulders, facing towards you, and slowly lifting up first of the head, and then lift up all the way so that the hands and the arms are stretched out and straight. Lifting up, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and when you're lowering down, be really, really careful of your neck. It's very important to protect parts, so lower it down, come down onto the mat, bring the knees back into the chest, and again, gently rock from side to side, just giving the spine a little massage. And then from here, we're almost at the end of our practice. So we're going to lengthen, come into your mat, lengthen out the legs. And we're going to, first of all, draw in the right knee. And then after squeezing that knee into the chest, I'm going to extend the leg up, point the foot, and then flex the foot, point, flex, point, flex, and then from here, you're going to bend the knee back in, take hold of the big toe with the right hand, and then extend up. So perhaps we might have a bent knee here, we might be lifting all the way. Holding up. And then from here, we're going to just begin to bring the right leg out to the side. So the reason my hand's here on my hip is just to make sure that it stays in the position on the mat. We want it to keep it on the mat as opposed to lifting up as we go to the side. So keeping our hand here just to make sure it stays there, and begin to extend the right leg out to the side, and then draw it back in, release, and then lower it down. Okay, and then this time, drawing the left knee in, taking hold of the knee, into the chest. Let go of the knee, lengthen the leg up, pointing, flexing, point, flex, spine climb, point, flex, lift that leg up, and then from here, bending the knee in, taking hold of the left toe, the left peace fingers, and beginning to extend it up. Holding it here for a moment, and really coming to this with a place of non-judgment. If we can't extend the leg up all the way, it's really not important. So lifting up, and then bringing the right hand onto the right hip, and then beginning to slowly bring that left leg out to the side, trying to keep that hip where it is, bringing it back to centre, releasing the hand, and again slowly lowering that leg back down, drawing the right knee back into the chest, and then this time we're going to bring the arms out by our sides and bring the right knee over across the left, and you're going to look over to your right hand and hold it here. So take 5 nice deep breaths here, your supine twist. You might want to close your eyes or lower your gaze and just noticing these side twists, like your side rib cage is rising and falling with every inhale and exhale. Okay, and then coming back to centre, extending that right leg, bring the left knee in, draw it into the chest, bring the arms out wide again, bring the knee, left knee across the right leg, over to that side, and then looking over to your left hand. And again, closing the eyes, lowering the gaze, and bringing your complete focus back to your breath. Final breath here. Bring the knee back to centre. You're going to hug yourself into a nice tight ball once again, so hugging in. Bring the head up to the knees. You're going to tense everything. Take deep inhale. And then on the exhale, allow the body to drop. You're going to come into your final resting pose, your Shavasana. So you're going to bring your feet to the corners of the mat, your arms out wide, so just away from the body, your palms facing up. So once you're in this pose, you're just going to completely begin to come into a state of surrender. So noticing that any tension you're holding, whether it's in your jaw, whether it's in your forehead, your shoulders, your back, just try and breathe into those spaces and allow for a softness to come over the body. So you You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. Could be 10 minutes, could be 5 minutes, just so that you have this final posture to really integrate the practice and allow the body to settle. And when you're ready to finish practice, you might just slowly to break the stillness, feel your fingers and toes. Draw the knees into the chest. Allow them to fall to whichever side feels most natural. Take a moment coming up from that posture. And then bring your hand down and gently come up into your seat that you started in. So thank you for practicing with me. I'll be posting more, so let me know what you think and if you want certain things, different things, whatever the practice is for you guys. So thank you. Namaste.